I get out of the truck and everything and head towards the bar. I was like, I don't believe in divine. I believe in spirits that eat cheeseburgers. Do not tell me about anything about this divine.
As you
I hold the pamphlet out to him and I show him the arrow.
I don't look at it.
There is an arrow pointing directly to the juiciest. As you guys are approaching, there is police tape all around it, several police cars, and approaching is a man. Describe yourself, Wilfred Kaiser.
Man in his early 40s, jeans, beaten up leather jacket, heavily covered head, sunglasses. Make sure not too much of his face is exposed or noticeable.
And you would recognize him from his avatar, his maybe cartoon avatar on this message board, Eugene.
I feel like I would still walk by him at first.
You would recognize him as well, Kaiser.
You would recognize me. I should recognize you, but I don't.
I choose not to.
Yeah, I'm focused on like the police tape and the juiciest burger, and I disregard the weird looking dude.
And then I just brazenly grab his shoulder and be like, "Hey,
whoa!
You're supposed to meet me here. What the hell happened to you?"
Who are you?
Well, if I said you were supposed to meet me here, I think you should know who I am.
Go on.
I'm Wilfred. The guy investigating strange.
Yes, you're Wilfred. I knew you in an instant.
Sure. Now,
Proceed.
What? Explain your cheeseburger theory, as you call it?
Well, you see, when I was only a small boy, very small, very infinitesimally small, I watched a cheeseburger be devoured by a phantom. I believe this abandoned cheeseburger spot, the juiciest, if it is indeed the juiciest, will provide our answers for more spirits.
Wait, if you were an infant, how do you remember saying a ghost ate a cheeseburger?
You're focusing on the wrong elements of this. A cheeseburger was eaten by...
I'm eating one of the cheeseburgers from the back.
As Raphael and Ishmael approach, Ishmael eating a cheeseburger.
Are you sure it wasn't that ate the cheeseburger?
You sound just like my entire 19-unit family. Please do not tell me something else ate the cheeseburger. I watched a phantom eat it with my own fuck.
I believe him.
Small baby eyes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the button.
Not
my baby eyes, but the same eyes I have as an adult.
Ishmael and Raphael, you're now approaching with Ishmael eating the cheeseburger, joining the new person that Gene seems to be talking to.
I bump into Raphael as he stops. Sorry.
Are there any police around, or just police tape?
Yeah, there's a couple police around. And maybe like 4 people who are kind of trying to look in.
There's been police this whole fucking time. I thought it was...
I kind of walk past the group and I go to start looking around, like through windows. I'd like to investigate a mystery.
Well, okay. You're going to take a -1 because are you passing the police tape?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Okay, take a -1 as you roll investigate a mystery.
I'm just I have imprinted onto Raphael, so I'm just following him around with the cheeseburger in my face.
What'd you get?
I call
That's
it
a 6 plus 0.
Man, I wish you would every time you roll this. Okay. You don't. It's you mark an XP for sure. Mark an XP on Raphael. We're gonna very carefully make this go forward. You get mark an XP on your character sheet.
Mhm.
You don't see anything. The windows are, kind of wrapped up with the police tape. They've kind of boarded some stuff up. But through a small crack, you think you see a glint of red, just for a second, and it's gone. And as soon as you see that glint, an officer approaches you. A woman in her, seems to be in early 20s, with there's a patch on her thing that says Moose Roost and a cartoony moose in the center. They really kind of, capitalized. It says, can I help you? What are you doing here?
I hide
Give
from her.
a nod.
I hide with my hood. Just,
Okay.
Oh.
Aha, miss, I feel drawn to this place, and I'm not sure if it is me being drawn to the mystery that's happened here. I've been known to investigate a mystery here or two as a private investigator, or if maybe I was drawn here to you.
Roll and manipulate someone.
Shit. That was fucking smooth, Raphael.
Still 11 minus 1, 10.
That's a 10. Okay. They'll still do it for the reason you gave them. And she says, "Well, has a lot of the police force baffled. You say you're a private eye. Do you have some sort of way to prove that?"
Pulled out my pamphlet.
As you do, the pamphlet alters, and the ink just changes, and it comes up with legit credentials saying you're a private investigator. And she says, "All right, I'll talk to the Sarge over there, but I think I can let you in."
That would be appreciated, miss. Thank you.
And she runs back to a woman in her late 50s with red hair turning gray. And she looks at you, looks over to her officer, and gives a brief nod. And the woman comes back and says, "Yeah, I'll have to accompany you, but we can go in." This in this case has the officer stumped, the detective. So
I dip my cheeseburger in some wet mud on the ground, and then I put it in my mouth, and I go, "Okay, Raphael, let's go."
I'm gonna approach to try to join too.
Wait, where are you going? Hold on.
These other people with me,
You are.
I picked them up on the road, but I think they may be useful to our investigation.
I want you to roll one more manipulate someone. Let's be regular though.
It's not my strength either.
You're talking to the woman, right? You've referred
9
the woman.
minus 1, so 8.
I drop my cheeseburger on the ground. And I go, "Oh."
This is a mixed success with an 8. So they'll do it, but only if you do something right now to show you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. She says, "Well, this is a lot of people. This is not what we've heard of private investigators with a, maybe a partner or something. But with this many people, I'm going to need to hold this pamphlet, or this badge, and I'll need your number as well."
Well, I'd be happy to give you my phone number, but I don't know if you know these two gentlemen over here. They also, all three of these men specialize in supernatural investigation and information, and they're just more specialists.
She looks over the crowd, the three of you to the four of you now, and says,
no.
and she doesn't. You're hiding pretty effectively, I'm gonna say. And she stops on Wilfred Kaiser and says, "I know him. He's the guy who lives outside of town almost. He's a bit of an odd egg, they say."
Well, maybe all we need is a little bit of odd. You know what they say.
"All right, I'll let the lot of you in. I need all of your numbers and ID."
ID.
Gentlemen, if you would like to accompany me, you must do as the lady said.
You already clearly know me, so
I'm still going to need the ID just to hold and take the information down.
I pull out my wallet, soaking wet. I hand it to her. Here you go. And then I pick up my cheeseburger off the wet ground. It fell into the wet mud, and I just go, "Oh, yeah." Pick it up. Bye.
So you,
I pulled mine out of my.
Right. And she grabs the IDs from all of your wallets and sketches down your information, your driver's license number or your ID number if you don't have an actual driver's license. And it's all right, come with me. And she holds up the police tape, and you guys enter the Juiciest. As you guys enter this this fine restaurant, there is a small section on the outside that has some sort of play place with several tubes and chutes, some sort of slides. There is a pit full of small plastic balls. There is a counter where food is delivered and a menu behind it. Tables laden throughout. And there is a very puffy mascot, still intact, up against one of the doors of Tubbs Mackenzie. You also see 7 skeletons scorched. Their bones are blackened. 1 is behind the counter. 3 are at one table. There is 1 by a table by itself. And there are 2 more at one of the booths.
That's supposed to be juicy, not rare.
I've seen this before.
Okay, what? Hold on, let's let me roll that up again. You can read it to me if you want to.
When you encounter creatures or phenomena, you may declare that you've seen it before. The keeper may ask you some questions about the encounter, and will then tell you 1 useful fact you learned and 1 danger you need to watch.
That's awesome. Tell me. I'm going to ask you some questions about it. What was that encounter like, Eugene? What was it like?
Well, let me tell you. I mean, I've seen scorched skeletons before in my time. There was a haunted, believe me, very haunted, but not very haunted because nothing ate a cheeseburger in my time there. Anyway, haunted hospital. Saw some scorched skeletons behind a incinerator.
The old hospital.
They were there.
Oh, God, it's horrifying.
Were the skeletons intact or were they ashes at this point?
They were ashes. It was a cremation device.
Okay.
That's fucking terrifying, Eugene. I can't believe you saw something like that and came out unscathed.
I know. Well, calm yourself, Ishmael. This is
my imprinting.
Something we see almost every other 4th year, 6th day, February Tuesday.
So the
last 31 years.
I get to tell you 1 useful fact about what you learned from what you told me.
Good.
Mine is that there's no incinerator or crematorium in this restaurant.
Well, I could tell you. I think we should be fine though, because there are no incinerators. But what about the ovens? What about the ovens that make?
Oh, what about
so
the ovens?
You look, I get to tell you one danger. There are several fryers still active, and one griddle, but there's no real oven here. It's not gonna happen.
As I thought, the fryers are still active. Everybody, look at the skeletons. They do not lie.
I would probably imprint onto the last person that spoke. So Tom mentioned being an expert in this field, so I immediately start walking over to him, and I'm still eating the same cheeseburger.
Oh,
it's running out. It's getting low. There's still some meat in this restaurant, though.
Can I have Ishmael help me set up my very specific, cheeseburger, simulation?
Oh, yeah. You want to do the old, what was the name of the plan again, Eugene?
It's called the Alpha Beta Zeta.
479, got it. Gotta grab
what you do? Let's start with we'll start with Wilfred first. What kind of there are several bodies I laid out. What are you trying to investigate first? Which one or which ones?
Just
I believe
the one. Whatever.
The one behind the counter.
Closest one. Yeah.
Okay. Roll. I want you to roll investigate a mystery. Roll plus your sharp.
Ooh, damn! Plus my sharp is 12.
That's a very, very good. Eventually, you guys will have the ability to advance moves, and a plus 12 is you can do even better stuff. But on a regular 10, it is you can ask me 2 questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, or what's being concealed here.
Oh,
Got him.
what sort of creature is it?
What sort of creature is it? You investigate it further, and what you can ascertain from the body, the one behind the counter, is that it seems to be, from your experience and your encounters, it's some sort of creature that can produce fire, obviously, and you can tell from the surroundings, the meat wasn't burnt; it was taken from the bones.
All right, yeah, is there any sort of place for me to know where it went or where it might go?
Where did it go? You see, okay, so inside this building, there are also random scorch marks, like I said, all around. The place isn't burned. It's not like there was a fire started and the entire place is scorched, but there are random marks. You begin to kind of, put pieces together, and the scorch marks left out of the back door, as far as you can tell. And they actually lead down to a sewer grate as you continue to go on.
As you're investigating this, I bump into you and I go, "What you looking at?" I'm always just kind of shockingly near you when you don't want me to be.
How many burgers have you eaten so far?
It's hard to keep track. I can't count past 3.
You are now eating the last vestiges of this burger. The second one, still slightly rotten in the back of the Winnebago. There is a fresh amount of, somewhat cooked burgers, maybe slightly rotten in the back of the juiciest. What are you going to do?
These are indeed the juiciest burgers.
I look over. I ask him what he's doing, and he's so into his investigation. And he asked me about the cheeseburgers. I finish mine, and I look over the shelf, and I see them, and I go over there. And there's a bunch that are just pristine. Like, you could eat these; they'd be fantastic. But then I find a couple that have roaches on them. I'm like, oh yeah, grab one of those. Just start eating.
Going to town.
Yeah, this one's got eggs in it.
Raphael, what were you doing during this time?
Actually,
I've been waiting for.
Actually, before I move on, as I'm grabbing the cheeseburgers and I start eating it, can I investigate a mystery in that area just to see if I notice anything while I'm just there munching?
Roll it up. Roll plus sharp.
I was about to say, I don't want to be comic relief the whole time. I want to be somewhat useful besides ripping cars in half. Let's see. Ooh, that was pretty good. That was a 5.
That's not good. 5 is
not good.
It's really bad, my man. Roll another XP, or get another XP.
Nice. I'm at 3 now. Collect.
So what you don't see it. But what, Wilfred, you're watching. I think you're probably a bit distracted. And as you see Ishmael run back in and start chomping on maybe questionable cheeseburgers, you hear a brief hiss from the sewer grate. And then it's gone. Raphael, what are you doing during this time?
I walked towards where I saw the glint of red.
Roll,
investigate mystery. Bruh.
Yeah.
7 plus 1, 8.
Okay. You can ask me one question. What happened here? What sort of creature? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? Was it going to, or what's being concealed?
Well, I mean, what's being concealed? I have a pretty good idea of what happened here.
What's being concealed? You see from where you saw the glint, you see very, very small scorch marks that are heading in the same way that you saw Wilfred and Ishmael just head. Not, the ones you saw before were maybe like yay big. Space between my arms, about yay big. This one you see is about yay big. 2 small ones, side by side, just for a second, that are heading back towards the same direction.
I'll walk that way. What's the police officer doing?
She's kind of just watching you guys work. She's not doing anything. She's watching you guys. You guys haven't really talked much. She's just watching you guys observe.
I'm about to talk to her now.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to ask her. When about did this happen?
Just last night.
Any witnesses? Any survivors?
No survivors. There was someone tried to, a gentleman, Mr. Juarez, tried to come into work today, and found this whole scene. He was a key holder, and I saw this when he entered.
So have you talked to anybody that was here possibly last night before this happened?
No, as soon as we talked to was there was a family, a small family. We talked to, and they said they had just ordered carry out, some burgers, 2 strawberry shakes, 1 chocolate, and left.
I've seen that before, but it's just what you described.
You're still around, by the way. Yeah, you're definitely still around for this. Everyone else is gone, but you are around, Gene. Go ahead.
Any other issues or occurrences like this here in town? Anything odd or strange?
I mean, people have seen their oddities. That's what your friend over there always says. But I think it's fine. It's a nice place. But every town has its own rumors, urban legends, stuff like that.
There's no insight check in this game. That's what I was looking for.
Nope.
Well, I'd like to thank you for your time, miss. I'm gonna keep looking around. You just stay right here. Try and stay safe. If you could turn off that oven and those oven fryers, that's a safety hazard.
Sure. Yeah, I guess they were up. And she goes to turn those off. Eugene, what are you doing with your burger analysis?
I'd like to use Occam's broadsword about now.
Okay, what does that do? Read it to me.
I think this is more than just a phantom eating cheeseburgers. When you first encounter something strange, you may ask the keeper what sort of thing it is.
Yeah, that's great.
One of them cheeseburger eating phantoms.
You gotta roll it.
I think so. It doesn't say anything else.
Let me double check it.
They will tell you They will tell you if it or the cause.
Okay, yeah. I got it. Yeah.
I gain +1 forward dealing
with it. Okay. You realize the burgers are fine. There was a fine flame broiled piece of meat in front of one of the couples eating in a booth, and it is stacked with lettuce just in place, a large slice of cheddar, 2 onions, a slab of meat, just delectable, and just the hint of mayo. No mustard, no ketchup. Uneaten sesame seed bun.
I've seen this 31 years worth of time. Same thing every time. It isn't what I'm looking for.
It isn't what you're looking for. And based on what your experience, a person, they'd eat this burger.
I'd eat this burger.
A monster.
No, I would never touch this burger.
Based on your experience, a monster might not.
There it is.
That's what you get from that move. And you haven't told anyone that you've now examined the bodies. You see Raphael beginning to walk away from this officer, and you have no idea where Ishmael and Wilfred are. What do you do?
Can I look around and see if there's anything they missed in this front? Before heading into the back, where they are.
Yeah, roll one more investigative mystery.
Just roll a normal dice.
Roll 2d6.
2d6.
And then add your sharp.
Well, I got is it add plus anything?
Sharp.
Ooh, that actually, it helps, but it doesn't help a lot. 7.
That does make it good because you don't fail, Tom.
Oh, good.
That's much better. You could ask me one question. What sort of creature is it? Has been answered. What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What's been concealed? And then you can ask any of those, and there will be a different answer than I gave the others.
Okay, let's do. What can it do?
What can it do? Based on your many years of absorbing the knowledge of how burgers are made, how flames work, griddles, sauteing, broiling.
You can fucking set people on fire. Did you get it?
This, based on the bodies, this was some sort of flash fire that burned the meat and the flesh straight down to the bone, but didn't burn the bone itself. Just left the ashes that remain.
Yes, it is. I've seen. I know. I've read of this in the Hobbit trilogy. This was a dragon, no doubt.
This was the Silmarillion.
For sure, smog has caused this.
Do you relate to this? Who are you talking to? Just yourself?
Myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely himself.
You have this information. You guys are now kind of finish your separate investigation. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna walk back over to Wilfred and stare into the grate that he's staring into.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, hey, did you hear a noise come from there?
Just the noise of these mother roaches I've been eating. Why? What, you think something down there?
You know what? I'm gonna bet something more delicious is down there.
Hell yeah!
Go look.
Don't worry, I'll go check it out.
Okay.
Have I arrived to this same grate that led me there?
You are watching as you see Ishmael, with his strength, unnaturally, throws up the grate and just hops down by himself. And you watch this as you're approaching.
I was hoping to read a bad situation before.
It's too late. He's got his ability is I'm going off alone. So he did that by himself.